Hey,
All right, we're gonna do hot takes here with derpysquid. Whoop! Right?
how are you, Lauren?
Uh, all right, we're gonna be doing mythic boots here. We're just talking
Good.
about these. Ignore the rest of these
Yeah.
items. I just found this tier list off of the internet. Thank you, whoever made it. Um, all right, so we're doing S through F tier. I think you guys know how tier lists work. We're gonna S is best, F is worst. We're gonna be ranking the mythic boots here. Zach, what do you think is an F tier mythic boots?
Well, in my opinion, the worst mythic boots of all time. It's gotta happen. I'm sorry, all you Dawnbreak users, but Dawnbreak, you're just bad.
Okay, I think most people could agree with Dawnbreak being F tier. I mean, really, let's be honest, it doesn't have any redeeming qualities other than it's got like insane main attack neutral, but I mean like why would you use that when blind thrust exists? Way cheaper, right?
Yeah. Come on. If you get Dawnbreak, it's not only is it extremely cheap, but like you have to have super good stats, which is
Mhm.
difficult for a mythic
And
anyways.
there's a lot
And
of
then
stats that need to be good too. So,
yeah,
yeah,
then
you're
you can't
not
even
going to
use
get
it for most builds because it's got some really wonky stats. That health regen can kind of be detrimental, and
It does have some lifesteal, which does cancel that out a little bit, but I mean, still negative health regen is kind of annoying at times.
yeah. Plus, it's got this doesn't really matter, but those minus LED fences are kind of rough.
Nobody pays attention to elemental defenses, let's be honest.
All right.
Alright,
Yeah.
I think we could both agree that Crusades are also F tier, right?
I don't know if they're definitely down there. They're only good for tank builds, which honestly they aren't great.
The only point of them is the skill points, really. I mean, you can't argue the health, but it's just like a worse version of statue, I guess. Also, Zach, did you see that one cursed warp build I sent to the Discord?
Uh,
Okay, anyway, we'll come back to that after the video, but it's hilarious. Yeah, so Crusade Sabatons, like, yeah, I'd say they're probably F tier. I mean, they got some health and skill points, but I've only
they
seen
give
them
you
used.
no any. They give you no way to like boost your damage. It's literally just
Yeah,
all defense, defense, defense.
yeah, I've only seen it used in like that Guardian build you made for Anthony, and that was about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've not seen it used ever before. So, I mean, like, yeah, yeah, Crusades, I'd say F tier, maybe D tier, you could argue, but I'd still say F
The next
tier.
one, you're probably not going to agree with me here, okay? This
Okay.
is a hot take. All right, D to F tier. I would have to put Galleon. It's not great. I know.
Yeah, I agree. I'd say around C minus D plus tier, somewhere around there.
It just isn't that great, okay? Your
Yeah,
Mana Steel, unless you need Mana Steel, then it's actually really good.
but
Okay?
yeah, the thing with Mana Steel though is Atlas. You could just slap that into any build and you pretty much meet your requirements. You don't need 5/4 Mana Steel for
Galleon, I
boots.
thought it'd be good. I tried it out. It's not that great.
Yeah, I use it with my Grim Trap build. Honestly, eh.
The
Honestly, a lot
poison
of
tries to be good poison.
yeah. The poison's nice, but I don't think it overall changes my opinion about it. I still think it's not very good. I'd say maybe C tier, but I put it here on a D tier.
I've never
Also,
seen a good build with it. Is the main reason.
what
Like,
about my Grim Trap build? Do you not like my Grim Trap build?
I mean, there's boots that you don't even use those boots half the time. So.
I don't even use my Grim Trap build anyway. Grim Trap is not very good. All right, also D tier. I think we could both agree Boreal.
It's kind of the same thing as the Crusades. No real
Yeah,
way to gain damage there.
yeah, and honestly, I haven't seen them used in a build ever before.
I've seen an Ignis build, and that's it.
Oh wait, yeah, didn't Andromeda use Boreal?
They did. They did have it was
It was
tanky.
tanky
It was
build. But honestly, tank playstyle is kind of garbage, especially when you're using double defensive skill points, because there's no real
yeah,
way to get damage, even if you are using, like, I don't know, a Photic or something, you're still not gonna get that much damage.
you really are. All right, next. This is my opinion. I personally, I don't know why. This is kind of my opinion. Actually, you probably agree with me. I would put
Okay.
Revenant next. It's not great.
I disagree with that. I think Revenant is a solid B tier, to be honest with you.
Revenant. I don't know.
I
It's
don't.
only good if you're doing raw stack, because like
Raw stack is
minus attack percent literally ruins.
or if you're
every
doing a
other
cancel stack build with like actually this wouldn't work, but like a writhing growth with a necrosis, it wouldn't work skill point wise because writhing growth has minus agility. But in theory, you know what I'm talking about. If you're doing a cancel stack
the only
with minus
way it
percentage,
works is if you're doing, if
raw
you're doing
stack.
something that has raw and not.
Or I've seen it used in some spell builds before that were actually pretty decent because it gives 52 earth and air damage with perfect stats, which I honestly I'd say this is probably B tier, to be honest. I think it's B tier personally.
Right. Well, okay, you can pick that, but can we both at least agree that
It's not A
best
tier or
worst-
whatever.
next best worst tier in our opinions are both probably a Resurgence or Moon Tower. Those are both.
Both, yeah. I'm gonna put Revenant up at B tier, but that's just my personal opinion. Again, I agree. Moon Tower and Resurgence are both C tier. We're gonna get a lot of hate for this Moon Tower placement.
Moon Tower, not great. Okay,
I mean,
really is. It's only used for warp. That's all you ever need.
And Dark Shroud just came out. Well, not just came out, but Dark Shroud came out, and I mean, it kind of makes Moon Tower a little pointless.
It's warp. Okay, warp. I personally don't think it's good. All it is for speed. You don't do much damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I've used it. Infinite TP's a lot of fun, but it's not good for combat. It's not good for PvE, PvP. Well, it's all right for PvP, but in general, it's not good for boss fights, mob grinding, anything like that. You just don't get enough damage output.
For the amount of damage you're taking by that minus health.
Although this isn't a build about warp, okay? Or a video about warp. The reason Moon Tower is so low is I just feel like Dark Shroud just makes Moon Tower kind of useless at this point.
And then we got the Research. It's great.
It's a cool pair of boots. I feel like it's a better version of Boreal, you know?
The only problem is it's got tons of minus percentages.
Yeah, but that's where the 8/4 mana regen's nice, because I mean you get to focus a lot more of your armor pieces on damage boosting. Whereas though like Boreal, you don't have. It only gives you 3/4 mana regen. You still got to get mana regen, and you still got to try to get damage as well. Which is why I think Boreal's worse than Resurgence. And another thing with Resurgence, have you seen like an Abso Resurge Time Rift build? They're literally unkillable.
Probably.
Yeah, because you get like 3-4 totems down, and with Absol's water damage percentage, you do not die. It's impossible for them to die. And
It could probably die like a Divzer or a Freedom.
I don't know. Well, maybe, but I don't know. Anyway, I feel like it's a more useful version of Boreal, but I still think that it's kind of mediocre. So I think C tier is a good spot for it.
Yeah, alright, the next boots, I would have to say either Stardew or Stardew,
I'd say Stardew.
I put Stardew or Slayer down there.
This is where we're gonna disagree a lot. I think Stardew. Do you think Stardew is a B or an A tier? I don't know. I could see it fitting into either.
It's both. It's great if you're
warrior.
If you're warrior
or mage.
Yeah.
If you're archer, assassin, shaman, it's not very good. The raw spell just helps a lot with warrior or mage.
Yeah, because they're regularly low.
Maybe we should put it B tier just because it's mainly meant for those two classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, B
tier. It could also, I don't know if the set actually worked, but I feel like it could work with Pier pretty well.
Pier? You need to get a lot of dexterity. Also, it's Mana Steel if you're willing to do a Mana Steel Pier build.
Don't think that's a thing, but, you know.
Well, it does give 5/4 Mana Steel, which is kind of, I don't know.
4/4.
4/4? I thought it was 5/4.
5/4 is Galleon.
Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong. All right, so yeah, I think that would be B tier. If you're talking about warrior mage, maybe A tier, but yeah,
it's pretty good, yeah. Next,
all right,
it's my opinion. Slayer.
No.
Slayer. Here's the thing with Slayer, all right.
It's OP.
Regen isn't terrible, but like if you want to combat the health regen, you literally have to go dexterity, defense, agile.
No,
and that's not really
you are so
good
wrong.
You
are so wrong.
Is it would you say it's more melee or spell?
Yes, that's why it's so awesome. It can do both, Zach. The percentage makes it possible to use for intel builds because it doesn't have minus intel, zero intel spell builds because of its percentage, obviously, and it's good for melee builds like cancel stacking or even like my Sunstar hybrid build I made. Really awesome build, by the way. And that's where I think it's also good, because when you're doing like a zero intel spell build, Zach, you use Sparkling Plate most of the... Oh, voice crack. Sparkling Plate most of the time, honestly. And it has health regen, which counters Slayer's negative health regen.
Yeah, I see that, I guess. But hey, to be honest, we can both agree. War Chief. Here's the thing with War Chief.
War Chief is
super cheap. It's super strong, and
yeah, I agree. War Chief is really strong. There's only 2 negatives to War Chief, and that's the minus walk speed, which is easily counterable if you use any kind of ETA build. You know.
Yeah.
And the other negative thing is the negative. What are they called? Elemental defenses. It's got quite a bit of those, but I don't really pay attention to those. I don't think you.
Also, it can kind of be. It depends on your build. But it can get kind of be hard to get those 80 skill points that it requires.
Yeah, true. But it's also nice because it gives skill points once you get up to 80, so it's easier to get up to, like, let's say using like Diamond Static Necklace and an Earth Weapon. So it's easier to get up to those 100+ skill points with War Chief. So yeah, I do agree with the requirements, but I also think that it's pretty good.
Oh no, here's the thing. All right, if you're going melee and you could get any mythic boots, probably
War
go
Chief. War Chief is the best pair of.
Just obvious, unless for some reason you're going like Earth, Air, Fire, something like that. Don't have ever or anything. You can't use that. Oh, if you're doing just pure like water or spell, you always go Stardew. You can't always go Stardew for like Spring and example. Stardew's
if you're doing a mana regen build, Stardew's kind of useless, honestly.
Yeah, you don't use Stardew, but Stardew overall, it's definitely one of the better for that area.
B, I put Stardew in B. I think it's probably B tier just for the fact that it doesn't work well with Archer, Shaman,
and only use Dawnbreak if you have like that
Cataclysm
build. That
was the one time I've seen Dawnbreak used in a build other than maybe heavy melee, but like yeah. I think that War Chief fits in an A tier. I think that Slayer is just a way more well-rounded pair of boots because you can use it for spell builds, you can use it for hybrid builds, you can use it for melee builds, you can use it for almost any builds. You can use it for 0 intel builds, you can use it for intel builds. The only negative part really is that it's got kind of low health compared to other mythic boots, and it's got negative health regen, but that's counterable pretty easily with how low the negative health regen is, you know?
Yeah, also, last hot take I got here. Mm-hmm. If you are trying to get a mythic, don't get boots, right?
Yeah.
Weapons, they're just so much better.
I agree with that, too.
They all have, like, legendary counterparts. Whereas, like, the weapons...
Except for Slayer. That's why I put Slayer here, too. There's no other pair of boots with as much minus percentage cost, too.
The mythic boots are just, like, I don't know.
The percentage is so good from Slayer, honestly. That's what carries it. If it was just the attack tier and main attack neutral... It would not be up here. It would be way down lower. Probably.
The thing is, like, probably you don't want to, unless you have some amazing legendary weapon build that somehow gets found or something. I don't know. But if you have the money, get a weapon. It's just
weapons are a lot smarter. Which, speaking of weapons, we're going to be doing these weekly hot takes, mythic tier lists. We're going to be getting to every class. Right, Zach?
Yeah, and then probably, Wednesday before Christmas. Can't promise anything, but we're gonna do a mythic tier list of every mythic ever.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We should do that. Oh, also, since we're doing kind of armor, where do you think Disco sits?
Oh, Disco, at the top. If you got
S tier.
It literally gets you any mythic you could ever want. It just takes grinding, so just grind. It's literally wynncraft 101 grind.
I'm putting it D tier, not gonna lie. It is so expensive to get a good one, and it's so useless.
Useless? Yeah,
if you get you don't need... Is it loot bonus useless after a certain point?
Yes it is.
Yeah, exactly. And they're way expensive,
Those are good for the new Toxo TOA grinding.
Oh yeah. Also, they're good for my latest LI build. No, I'm just joking. Okay, we forgot the most important stat on Disco though, the XP percentage. It's so good for leveling up, man.
It really is.
Like-
Ignore Papyras. Like,
Yeah, Papyras.
nobody cares about Papyras.
Papyras. And nobody cares about your dumb question mark armor set or
Yeah, that stuff is just grinding.
or
That's
morph stuff. Like, honestly, get a disco. That'll get you all the XP you'll ever need to level up.
That's a good flex.
Yeah, yep. That's like all it's used for is to flex, honestly. Other than that, honestly, D tier.
I mean, you can't really say much about disco. We've never used it in loot runs, so.
I mean, yeah, I guess so, but I mean, like, loot bonus is useless after a certain point, and it's so frickin' expensive. Like 30 plus stacks for a good one. Which is cheaper than they used to be before the Great Mythic Purge, am I right?
Is that what you're calling it?
Yeah, that's what I'm calling it, the Great Mythic Purge. When everybody started loot running insanely and all the mythics became absolutely useless price-wise. Like, you can't sell them for anything these days.
You got the dupers, and then you got the...
Oh, yeah. I remember when Sunstar got duped right as I found a Sunstar and was trying to sell it. Oh, that was not good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I could say I probably lost like 6 stacks due to the Great Mythic Purge drop.
I've lost so much money on wynncraft. Like, so much money.
You spent 4 stacks rerolling a Freedom to 5.
Or the time that I sold a 16 stack Resurgence for 10 stacks. It was priced at 16 stacks. Or the time that I gave away a Lament. Or the time that I bought a guy a Nullification.
Man, you're really good at this wasting money.
Or the like 6 times I've bought an Anthony stuff and he hasn't still used it because he doesn't play wynncraft. Anyway, we're kind of rambling, aren't we?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, guys,
say it with me. Say it with me.
If you agree with this, and
yes.
Subscribe.
Well, yeah, please subscribe. Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Yeah, next Wednesday for our second episode of wynncraft Wednesdays, guys. That's my new series, wynncraft Wednesdays.
It's the assassin mythic tier list.
Are we doing assassin next week, or should we do archer?
We're doing assassin.
No, I got an idea. Comment down below which class you would like to see done next, okay? So we'll do all of them. Don't worry. Just tell us which one you want next. And eventually, after we do all the classes for our Christmas special, we'll be doing all the mythics. All in one.
Every single one.
It's gonna
be a long
mythic.
video.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of rambling between you and me and a lot of arguing.
Yeah, because we're going to agree on quite a lot. Just, no offense, though. We started off with probably the worst mythics first, the boots.
Yeah, yep. That and probably the least exciting as well. Once we get to the weapons, things are gonna. Oh, pardon my burp. We're gonna start. Oh goodness. Yeah, things are gonna start getting more juicy.
Yeah, okay. The video ended quite a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I might include this for the memes, but.
No.
Oh yes. But yeah, guys, please subscribe and like the video if you liked it, and also comment. Yeah, I know. I'm just finishing it off because I want them to subscribe. Okay, and also last but not least, comment which class you want talked about next.